Pete Delatorre. I am the CEO of Camacol Talk, and welcome to Camacol Talk, a weekly video podcast where we feature our members, board of directors, community leaders, and strategic partners. We do this every Friday, 11 a.m. on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel, Camacol Talk. This program is brought to you by the City of Doral, City Place Doral, Baptist Health, and Equitable Advisors. Our special guest today is Elaine Adler, President and CEO of the Aventura Marketing Council. So let's sit back and let's tune in to that conversation. Okay, with me right now is a dynamic lady leading a dynamic organization in a dynamic part of Miami-Dade County, Aventura, Elaine Adler, President, CEO of the Aventura Marketing Council. Elaine, welcome to Camacol Talk. How are you?
Oh, I am doing great and so good to see you again, Pete.
We spoke last year and we were sharing war stories of how we were getting through COVID, and I'll get back to that in a moment there. But the wonderful thing is that we're here today, we're smiling, we're beyond that, God willing, and we can get back to doing things. I don't even think this whole thing about getting back to normal, I think there is a new normal, a new appreciation for what we didn't have last year. And that's a whole different world. So let's talk a little bit about that. But before that, for the benefit of the viewers, can you give us an overview on the organization, how long, and the things that make you unique?
Sure. Well, I was brought in actually 30 years ago. And those days, it was all the developer run, and they were just creating the signature of Aventura. It was unincorporated. And they came to me and they said, well, we're calling ourselves Aventura Marketing Council because we want to market this area. But if you want to change it to Aventura Chamber of Commerce. And I said, I've run a chamber. I came from running a chamber for 16 years prior. And I said, it isn't what you call yourself. It's what you do. Look at Camacol. For a gringo like me, you say Camacol. If I didn't know, I'd say, what is it, a detergent or something? But everybody knows Camacol by what you do and the amazing international outreach. So people know the Aventura Marketing Council / Chamber of Commerce for what we do, the programs that we have, the benefits we give our members. So we just keep on moving along, providing all these wonderful benefits.
And I think what's really cool is that not only are you in Miami-Dade, but because you're so close to the Dade Broward line, you have a spillover into South Broward, which is...
Oh, we have a spillover into North Broward. We actually have 3 members from Hungary. Yes, the country of Hungary.
Of course.
Yeah. So, and we've all only grown by word of mouth. We've never gone on a membership drive. I find that those will bring the membership up, and then you go
and the renewals are usually pretty sad. Exactly.
Yeah, right. So it's all by word of mouth over these last 30 years. And I think the more people that understand what you do, just like Camacol, the more people understand what you do, the more that want to be part of this wagon to the stars.
Along with that, I think it's also what you do, how you do it, and why you do it. And people really embrace the why part because you genuinely and authentically want to serve. You want to see businesses succeed at all different levels. You want to give them a standing ovation when things are going great, but you also want to sit down with them one-on-one and be there to support them throughout a difficult period, which is a great pivot for us now to talk a little bit about COVID and how did the Aventura Marketing Council, how did you get your team together through that whole experience?
Well, yeah, just like any other group, we pivoted. Starting in March of 2020, we immediately went to virtual meetings. And of course, we increased the number of virtual meetings where we would have one big breakfast meeting a month and one big chairman's roundtable luncheon and one evening networker. We started doing them every week, only virtually. So yes, it caused, a lot more pressure and expectations. but look at the benefits. I know that we kept our members together and connected and doing business. And that was the important thing. And the appreciation for how hard we were trying. Not everybody made it through COVID,
No, no.
but the ones that did, if we had one tiny little piece to know that we helped them through it because we were able to connect them with this one. And yes, you're so right. It's those personal connections. That's
They
exactly
really
correct.
are, and everybody got affected. For profits, nonprofits, membership organizations like chambers of commerce and the marketing councils of the world. It was a tough time because your revenues are based on memberships and
100%.
sponsorships,
A hundred
and a
percent.
lot of people just didn't have, they weren't spending the money. If they were coming up for a renewal, they kind of held back. Although I understand that you guys you went through that pretty well compared to other organizations. One of the things I noticed all the way around, not with your organization, but around everybody was eager to help. Every chamber of commerce was eager to help their memberships and make sure that the message was, we're here for you and all that. Um, but sometimes what I saw happening is that everybody rushed to do what everybody thought everyone needed. And what ended up happening is I call a lot of copy and paste. Every organization was doing the same types of things. And I know when I was, doing some other things last summer, I really held back. I said, well, wait a second. I just don't want to do what everyone do, because that's going to, in 1 week, is going to be overkill. What do we really need to be talking about and sharing with the members in the business community that is relevant now, that really means something to them? And not only that, but how do we set them up for the aftermath of COVID? How do we get them ready for that? And I think that the Aventura Marketing Council was one of the leaders in doing it like that.
Thank you. Thank you. I believe the answer is all in connecting our businesses.
Hmm.
If I know I've got somebody coming in that's providing a service for the senior cares, immediately I need to connect them, personally connect them with our senior care facilities, with our nursing homes, with our hospitals, with anyone. You just have to be proactive. It's
Yes.
not that difficult. It's
No.
time consuming. It is. We have this gigantic staff of 2 people, counting me. So yes, we lost, an employee during COVID too.
Hmm.
But you just have to double down on your efforts to connect your businesses and find out what they need. They don't, there is so much information out there about the SBA loans. And that's, I think, one of the things you were talking about. Yes, you have to put that out,
Absolutely.
but you can't keep putting it out. That is not your only message. There are so many other messages. There are so many, and you have to provide inspiration at times.
Oh,
You
there's
have
no
to
doubt about
show
it.
them these successes and talk about the successes and give them an opportunity to say, wait a minute, I could do that, or I'd like to contact that person. And of course, we share. Through COVID, we became very, very close with our coalition of Miami-Dade County Chambers.
Hmm.
And of course, that's how, I really became closer with Camacol. Of course, I had heard about you for many, many years. So we have been doing a lot of events. Just like yesterday, we had some NFL alumni. Jim Barry was our MC. And they were talking about how these NFL alumni give back, even through the challenges of COVID. But they were inspiring stories. It was
Hmm.
great to hear. We had a Hall of Famer, Isaac Bruce, there.
Yep.
Just how down to earth and approachable they are, and how they just wanted to help. But that gives a message to everybody. You know what? I could contact them, and people were calling me left and right afterwards. Can I have the contact for that? I said,
Hmm.
of
Absolutely.
course, we share with everyone.
It really does. I know that the Aventura Marketing Council has also, you just mentioned the Coalition of Chambers, which is a group of leaders of different chambers, of the key chambers of commerce of Miami-Dade County. I know there are a lot of stuff in Broward, but the key is there is the sharing from a global perspective It's not, there's, that chamber competes with mine, and blah 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 blah. It's really, if you know what you're doing and you're doing it right, you don't have to worry about a competing chamber, right? I
Mhm.
think what that organization does, and I know that's part of who you are, is the spirit of collaboration. And for example, Camacol and the Aventura Marketing Council, we've got some ideas and plans on moving forward.
Oh,
Formula One will be one example of that.
absolutely. We held that meeting recently with Marcus Bach-Armis from the Hard Rock, Richard Cregan from Formula One. And immediately, your fearless leader, Joe G, said, listen, we have got a tremendous international outreach. Can you connect me? And within minutes, maybe seconds, of course, it went right to Marcus over at Hard Rock Stadium because there are so many things that you can offer that we can't, right? And I just want to see it successful because it's that old story. Someone once said to me, Elaine, there's this corner and it has three restaurants. Why are there three restaurants on one corner, three major restaurants? And I said, sometimes with one restaurant, there's a spotlight on that restaurant, and that's nice. But when there's three, there's a floodlight on that area. So one day you're going to go to this restaurant, and the next day you go to that restaurant. It all works together if you let it.
Exactly. It's don't worry about someone else taking over your territory or being part of it. Just how can we coexist? Because not everyone is going to eat the same food every night. They want to have variation. That's the way it is right there. So I think if we could, take time. There's so many lessons from COVID. I know I learned a lot about myself, about my friends, about business, and the word pivot obviously is the big word. Reinventing yourself, re-engineering yourself. I think COVID really allowed us in the midst of the adversity to take a look at the big picture and do the things that maybe we thought about doing for a while, but we never, quote unquote, didn't think we had the time to. We were kind of forced to, okay, now is the time to do that.
Amazing. We thought we were busy with 4, 5, 6 events a month pre-COVID. Now we're doing 18 and 20 events a month. same number of people. But now that's what we do because we have to and we want to.
And we want to, and everybody is just so eager that they talked about that pent up demand to travel. I think there's a major, and you've seen already, a pent up demand for folks to just come together and live face to face and
Oh,
be able to talk. And,
absolutely.
if you don't want to shake my hand, at least bump my fist, and at least we're there and we're in a room. The energy, you can't get that
Yeah.
behind the screen. It
Now,
just,
yeah,
it just doesn't
that's
work there.
kind of like our Young Star Showcase during COVID, and that's where we feature amazing young sing. Amazing! I'm talking America's Got Talent and The Voice. These are all local singers, and we do all singing. And during COVID, we did it virtually, and of course, we had to tape them in an empty theater. Yes, they were good and they were wonderful because they just are good and wonderful. You didn't feel the energy. You didn't feel that
Yep.
imbued in them from the audience that would cheer them on. They are so excited for this coming year when we're back live, as is everyone. As is everyone.
And we still have the second half of 2021, and I'm sure you got a plate full of things and activities,
I do. I
and
do.
and I think that this is what everybody wants to start doing now, and we want to continue to respect COVID. It was real. I was affected last summer. I have a lot of friends. Some of them became very, very ill. And we know of others, unfortunately, family members that have passed away. So that is something that will remain with us moving forward, and we will honor their memory. So we have to continue to respect that and understand that, and move forward. Not to forget that, but okay, now we've got to move forward and make things happen here. How can the viewers find out more about the Aventura Marketing Council?
Oh, thank you. AventuraMarketingCouncil.com. That's the easiest way. Or just call us 305-932-5334.
And it is how many years now? 30?
Well, I've been there 30 plus years, and it was around for 2 years before me. So it's really 32 years old, going on 33.
Wow, wow, terrific. Well, congratulations on all your amazing work what you've done, what you're doing, and what I know you're going to continue to do moving
Oh,
forward.
we got great plans coming up. We do. Thank
That'll
you.
great. And then,
And we got things together that I'm so excited about.
yes, we are. And we will talk that through and come up with some really, really cool things. Elaine, thank you so much for being with us here on Camacol Talk.
And my pleasure. Thank you.
All right, take care. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks once again to Elaine Adler from the Aventura Marketing Council for being our special guest this week. Remember, we are on every Friday, 11 a.m. on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel, Camacol Talk. Thank you for being with us during these programs. Keep sending us your thoughts, your comments, so that we can focus in on the conversations that you want to tune into. Thank you so much for being with us here today. Have a great